Hi, I'm Aaron and I'm a Norse pagan, and welcome to the Hipster of Odin. In this video, we will be talking about my personal journey with my ritual garb. Now, in this video, you will personally see me reading the runes. Now, you're probably thinking, what am I reading these runes from? Well, I'm technically reading the runes from this very, very small card, as you can see here. And this has all the runes written down on them. Now, this is actually a card that is represented on the business card known as Bluteforge by Tyler McCormack. Now, if you wonder where I get many of my pendants, whether it was my Odin totem, or whether it is the actual, or whether it was the actual Mjolnir that I'm wearing right now with the Othala rune on it. This was created by Tyler McCormack. Now, this specific Mjolnir was actually based off of the exact same one that Jacob Todson had in many of his videos. So if you're wanting the same Mjolnir, then I highly recommend go to Bluteforge, because that is where you will find the same replica Mjolnir that Jacob Todson had in many of his videos. In this video, I will be chanting the runes, but I will be using that drum up there. Now, that drum up there is actually my son's drum, and it was actually made by a practitioner of this faith who actually creates beautiful drums made with runes and is highly recommended in my opinion. So one of the things I actually use is actually this kind of mask thing. Now, if we look at Heilung, in Heilung, they kind of wear a mask of some sort to cover their eyes. Now, obviously, I'm going to take my glasses off so I'm not as handsome anymore. And this is the kind of mask that I decided to create. Now, obviously, it goes around your head like this. And then you can kind of not really see my eyes, but I can see you perfectly. Now, what I do is I keep this kind of visor on because the brown represents my ancestors. And when I look through here, it feels like the ancestors are covering my eyes, their viewfinder, and seeing the same kind of things that they see. It distorts your vision in a way where you see lines coming down, but you can see things clearly. And when I'm in a ritual mindset, or if I'm beating a drum, people can't see my eyes, and therefore I transform into a whole new creature entirely. This is what it looks like from the side, going all the way around. It's actually one of my personal favorite features. And all I used was felt, and I used some staples down the side here to connect two bands here, and this is just one piece of felt. So in this video, you're probably thinking, I will be talking about the runes, or I'll be singing the runes, beating a drum. You might be thinking, what am I using to read the runes off of? So technically, there's this little business card right here from Bluteforge, and it's known as Tyler McCormack, who makes these little business cards that comes with the products or the pendants that I wear. And on the back of the business card, there is this rune plaque that has all the 24 runes on it, all in order. And this is what I was reading off of when I did that kind of mantra. Now, this is how you do the mantra. You go, Fihu, Urus, Thoros, Ansus, Redo, Kinos, Gibo, Wanjo, Hagalas, Nuthras, Isa, Yera, Ewas, Perthro, Augis, Swilo, Tiwas, Bacana, Ewas, Manas, Laugus, Ingas, Dagas, Othala. Now, this is kind of like the rune chanting that they did within Heilung. Now, you're probably thinking, do I have a version of Heilung? I actually do. I actually have this is going to be a little bit more of a promotional video. But this here is a CD of Heilung, and here we have some runes here. So we have Laugus, Isa, Fehu, and Ansuz, and that says Lifa. Here we have Isa, Othala, Tiwaz. This looks like a Laugus. I'm not entirely sure. This might be younger, but I think that's Laugus. Nuthras, Gibo, Ansus, Rado, and Dagas. So altogether that must say I or To Lu Nu Gi Arad. I might be saying that wrong if I'm honest. Maybe. However, I give things a try. Now, inside of this thing, it's a very, very beautiful artwork. Now, inside, it has a quotation that Kai actually says in many of his songs. It has this little quotation right here, and it says, "Remember that we are all brothers, all people and beasts and trees and stone and wind. We all descend from the one great being that was always there before people lived and named it, before the first seed sprouted." So to me, I really love that kind of little mantra that he puts there. And I really love the artwork on this. Look, just look at that. That there, that's Kai from Heilung. And he has like this helmet thing. He has a shamanic drum. He has some sage in his hand. To me, Kai is someone who I am inspired by when I'm creating my shamanic garb, or when I'm creating my ritual garb for my rituals outside in nature. I've thought to myself, I'm going to need to find some antlers in the forest, or even buy antlers, but it's so expensive to find these things. So I think to myself, just doing things that connect you is more important. Now, you may be thinking in the video, the cloak, why is it green? And why did you get it from Ireland? Well, basically, I got my cloak from a place known as Irish Designs. Now, you can go to this company called Irish Designs, and you can go to them on Etsy. And they create beautiful cloaks, heavily embroidered with like this kind of Celtic infusion. I think the brand name might be Celtic Infusion or Irish Infusion, one or the other. Irish Designs, that's kind of the name. And they make plant-based, like all of the wool, all of the cotton inside of the cloak is all actually designed from plant-based fibers from trees. Every cloak that you buy from them, one tree in the west of Ireland is planted. It doesn't take that long to come, maybe roughly a week or 2 weeks, and it actually is very, very good quality. So I highly recommend, if you're going to get into some sort of like cloak, try and get something that's good quality and made by someone of the faith, or someone who has a passion for the Celtic or pagan designs. Do I have Irish descent? Yes. So my great-grandmother, her name was Minnie. And she was a lovely lady. She never drank, she only drank tea. I'm pretty sure she drank other things, but probably she didn't drink alcohol. And she was a very lovely lady. She was my grandmother, who is my Nanny Marge. It was her mother. And my grandfather, my great-grandfather, his name was Richard. He loved a drambuie, a tea in the morning, instead of a coffee like me. And he loved banoffee pie. My nan loves banoffee pie, my dad loves banoffee pie, and I personally love banoffee pie. My nan, my great-granddad, and my dad all love drambuie, and for me, I like a drambuie too. So maybe it's a generational thing, and maybe I might create a video talking about ancestral veneration, where I'll actually go into a deep dive about my own personal ancestry, and talk to you a little bit deeper about how to give offerings to the ancestors. But for me in this video, when I wear that cloak, I'm wearing and acknowledging my Irish descent. Now, yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, and people say, well, St. Patrick's Day, that's a Christian holiday, isn't it? Well, it was the Christians celebrating getting rid of the snakes out of Ireland. Now, they called us, pagans, snakes. However, how can we reclaim this holiday? Well, there's one way you can reclaim it. Technically, the Irish people have already advertised it with lots of alcohol. So how we can reclaim it is to celebrate it as a pagan holiday. And to celebrate it, if you have Irish ancestors, celebrate them. And technically, before the Christians came in, it was actually a pagan holiday of the Celts. The Celts actually celebrated it, but it wasn't the colour green, it was the colour blue that they sanctified. So obviously I'm wearing a green kind of sweater here, and for that reason, I celebrate my Irish great-grandmother when I wear my cloak for many of my rituals or many of the gatherings that I do. Dressed as someone who looks like Kai from Heilung, using the drum and reading this. Fiuros, toros, ansos, rido, kinos, you've enjoyed the content here at the Hipster of Odin, feel free to like and subscribe to my content. And if you like, just leave one small comment or one small intention that you would like to see in the next video. Thank you so much for simply watching my content and watching my videos. It means so much to connect to you guys sitting in the comforts of your own home. And until the hall,